Asante sana, asante sana. And you know what? In studio now, we want to talk about matters health. We have LilySophie Marao Mubarak. She's a clinical nutritionist. Lily, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to have you here today.
Thank you.
Lily, we talk about diabetes, and it's funny because I was like, is it an awareness month? Because oftentimes we have conversations around certain issues because it's an awareness month, we want to create an awareness, right?
Yeah.
So before that I said, okay, fine, the awareness month is in November. So why is it important that we have this conversation today around diabetes?
Okay. Thank you very much, Miriam. It's best for us to have this conversation because I think it's a high time we take this thing seriously because the statistics currently are putting Mombasa County at 4.1 to 5.2% of the people who have been diagnosed and are on treatment, making it being the first county that has the highest risk of the people who are diabetic.
Yeah.
But now I have a feeling that there are so many people out there living with diabetes because if you look at the percentage rate that we're talking about, most of the people are recording, acknowledging that they have diabetes from the age of 35, 40. So which means many people are having it for a longer time. Reason being, nobody goes for checkups and nobody has come out to explain to people the reason and the importance as to why we should go for those checkups. Yeah.
You've talked about 4.1 to 5.2%. Could you actually, is it possible for you to break this down in figures so that we may understand if we're talking about 4.1 to 5.2% in Mombasa, we may know these are the numbers.
Yeah. So like let me put it in ratios. Like to say in 100 people we have 4 new cases. In 100 people we have 4 new cases. Like currently I was looking at the statistics last month. We found we were at 1,670 something people who are on treatment. But now my question still remains, how many people are still living with it without knowing? Because now I am standing here and I've been fighting for it because I am tired of people coming crying the last minute because of the damage that the diabetes has done. Because diabetes, the funny part of it will always target the important organs, the organs which you cannot live without. Now this thing, it is something which can be reversed as early, if noted early. And being noted early is through self-checkup. People should be made aware that diabetes is present and diabetes can be reversed if realized early. Yes.
When we talk about early detection, right? And you're saying a lot of people are living with it and they do not know.
Correct.
Meaning there are symptoms that I could actually be noticing, right? But I don't know where to place this. I don't know what's causing this. Could you talk to us about the symptoms that cause diabetes, or rather symptoms that show that I'm actually diabetic? Yes.
Okay. Most of the major symptoms, we have frequent urination. And you're urinating all the time. After 10 minutes, you're back in the toilet every time. And then we have thirst, frequent thirst. And then we have dry mouth. In men, we have erectile dysfunction, which is the one that is usually give the men a wake-up call, like what's not happening. And also for the women, we have low libido and vaginal dryness. And then we also have, how do we call it? Weight loss in a short span of time. So those are some of the things that when you realize, you should start going for checkups. Yeah.
And because at times, honestly, I always say the hospital is usually the last place that we want to go to.
Yeah.
It's the last place. Nitakuja hapa niseme I have a headache, and then I'll postpone it and I'll go take a painkiller, right?
Yeah.
And then the pain will disappear for maybe a week or some time, and then pick it up again, and then go to the chemist and do that. When we're looking at our habits again as citizens, hapa hivi, what should actually make me leave my house and say, it is time for me to go check? And when you're seeing people come to you last minute, how bad is it?
When people come last minute because of the prolonged symptoms, it means it's last minute. But for you, as a person who is just healthy, you should make it a point after every 3 months, go and get checked. We have a test that's called HbA1c. The HbA1c is able to rule out the past 3 months, how has your sugar been behaving. So we have a certain range, usually from 5 to 7, but you can give an allowance of 6.5. So if it's higher than that, then we are already alert there's something wrong with your sugars. So we start immediately on regular follow-ups.
Yes.
But if it's in the normal range, well and good. But it's always best, at least after every 3 months, you go and get your sugar checked. Yes.
Okay, so every 3 months, go get your sugar checked.
Yeah, the HB1C test.
And so when I do the HB1C, then I'm told whether I'm in the clear.
Yeah,
or
in
not.
the danger sign. Yeah.
Yes. And if I'm not, you're saying it can be detected at an early age.
Correct.
For treatment purposes.
Yeah.
Another question. We always feel like when we say one is diabetic, we always correlate it with somebody who's gained weight.
Yeah.
Can somebody who's also, how do you call it, slender, be diabetic?
Yeah, and that will bring us to the types of diabetes. Because we have type 1 and type 2, which we are used to, and we have the gestational diabetes, which usually affect the pregnant women. But now we have other types of diabetes. That's why it's always best for you, before ruling out anything, you should go and see a specialist. So you might be slender, yes, and still have diabetes as an adult. Because we have types of diabetes, we have the LADA, it's called the latent autoimmune diabetes for the adults. It has symptoms of type 1, meaning eco low, eco hypo. So you might be wondering, we know the type 1 characteristic affects the kids 0 to 19 years.
Yes.
But now we are 30 na akona hypo. It means we are akona the latent autoimmune type of diabetic.
Yeah.
We also have the monogenic diabetes. It's also called the maturity onset diabetic.
Yeah.
Unaweza kuwa hauko, you're not fat and all, but you had inherited a genetic mutation from your parent.
Yeah.
So you end up getting the type. And then we also have another one called the type 3C diabetes, which happens if a person has a damaged pancreas, ama labda they have had surgeries which maybe have interfered with the pancreas. They might also end up getting the diabetes, regardless if you are obese or not. Yes.
Okay.
Sasa mimi swali langu litakuja hapa. Mombasa hapo unasema idadi iko juu. Hiyo ni nchi nzima ama ni hapa pwani?
Hii ni hapa Mombasa, hatujafika Likoni sub county. Now you can imagine.
Okay. Sasa swali linakuja. Ni nini ambacho kinafanya hapa Mombasa idadi ya wale ambao kwamba wako na kisukari iko juu ama inapanda? Ni vitu gani ambavyo kwamba vinachangia hilo tatizo ama hayo maradhi?
Okay, for the few years that I've been here, the research that I've tried to gather, and because I was having a major concern, why are these rates becoming too high? So coming to think of it and going on the ground, our lifestyle is really one thing. From the meals that we are taking and from the life that we are living. And then now adding to those other factors of those causes of the diabetes that we have talked earlier about. But the major cause that is killing Mombasa is the lifestyle and what we are eating.
A lifestyle and what you are eating. Sema tu hapa tuambiane ukweli leo tutoke.
Yeah, because there are a lot of street foods, so people opt to go for the street foods which are already prepared, and those street foods, most of them are simple carbohydrates like the viazi, the chapati, the mahamri, the what are they called, the kaimati. So those are simple sugars. So if you end up eating them all the time, you get sugar spikes all the time. So the constant sugar spikes all the time do enaculate to the diabetes. Yes. And then most of them wamezoea tu kila kitu pole pole. They don't do exercise. Most of them are just lazying in the house. Pee is also another factor.
Lazying in the house.
Yeah.
Watu kupanda tuk-tuk.
Yeah, hamtaki kutembea. You prefer using the ram ama the lift instead of the stairs. Utaki kuchoka. Yeah.
Okay. So it's the lifestyle, it's what we eat.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about actually I think we've touched on a bit of everything. I want to talk about, let's do preventive before we actually get to now you have it.
Curing.
Yes, you've been diagnosed and what you need to do. What are some of the things that as somebody should do to prevent, or rather to ensure that they are safe?
Okay.
Yeah.
For the preventive measure,
yes.
If you have been you have been doing your HB1C test and then you are seeing you are at risk, then you'll have to reduce on your carbohydrate intake, and usually we have to switch it to a complex carbohydrate. But not all complex carbohydrates are ideal for you, so that's why you have to meet a clinical nutritionist to be able to guide you through on the best complex carbohydrates for you to consume. Number 2, you'll have to reduce on sugar. In fact, you're supposed to scrap it out. Anything sugar. And that is where most of the people get confused, because they'll run for fruits. They'll opt for fruits over lunchtime, over supper. This is very healthy, but in the real sense, it's not healthy, because you're eating too much sugar inside the fruit, though the fruit is natural.
So even fruits are not healthy?
Yeah, if you consume them the wrong way.
What's the right way to consume a fruit?
The right way is taking one fruit at a go, depending on the last meal you've had. Because you cannot just tumekula chips yako hapa ama rice yako na usha gongelea fruits hapa. It's wrong. You're supposed to give yourself at least a duration, not to overwork your body. The other thing, fruit juices are poisonous for the people who are diabetic and those who are pre-diabetic. When you have HbA1c zao zimeread, ziko na danger. So you're supposed to eat only one fruit at a go.
Okay, so the people, most of the time we do, it's a fruit salad, right?
Yeah.
You see that bowl, there's a mix of pineapple,
Correct.
there's a mix of apple, there's a mix of orange mango, everything.
Yes.
The watermelon, and you're thinking, oh, I'm healthy. That is not safe.
It's not safe at all. At all. That's why I'm here. I want to scrap out that mentality.
Ukisema one fruit at nini?
One apple, one mango, a slice of watermelon.
Yeah. A slice of pawpaw.
Yes.
Umeamua ni
Yes,
pawpaw.
one banana.
Ni pawpaw. Umeamua ni ndizi peke yake.
And it's supposed to be consumed an hour after your meal?
An hour or two, depending on the previous meal you've had. Kwa sababu kuna other foods that take a longer time to be digested. Yes.
Yeah.
So kuna zenye ziko fast, they have a faster way, and the other ziko na a longer way. So if you take it kabla ingine haijakuwa digested, then you're adding bulk to the body. So you're doing more harm than good.
Yes. Okay, so fine, we go test, we go do the HbA1c test, and then we watch out on what we're eating.
Correct. So, and also the excessive fatty oily foods, you remove, because research has been done and has shown that the pancreas, for the people who have diabetes, the pancreas has been covered by a layer of fat, which is making the insulin have a difficult time kutoka kukuja kudigest. So your fat enye inakuja hapo kwa pancreas natoka wapi? It's because we are eating the fatty foods and we are eating the wrong fats. Kuna zile trans fats zinapatikana kwa nyama mafuta, ile nyama ya kuku, ile ngozi ya juu. It's a very bad type of fat. We have vitu kama Kimbo, cowboy. We like cooking chapati with cowboy. It's also a wrong fat. Akina Blue Band. Yeah. If you consume more of it, it does harm than good.
So Blue Band is bad.
Yeah. So you can have what do we call it? You can have butter, you can have peanut butter, you can have ghee. It's okay.
Okay. And when you're talking about the oil, so are you preferring the liquid oil? Yeah,
the oils from the plant sources. Any oil from a plant source is okay. Things like, let me not mention the brand, oil. But yeah. The coconut oil, that is okay. Olive oil is okay. Yes. Since it's coming from there, it's a seed oil. It's coming from the plant itself. Okay. Any oil that when you put it in a freezed environment, it will not freeze. That's good oil. But any other oil, because
coconut si mengine wa yanaganda au
yani
haya mafuta nazi
ukika kwa place kama hii haita rate ya hiyo coconut kuganda na rate ya hizi zingine sasa kumention
haya ambayo ya loganda
unakuta kwa hiyo tins ukiangalia ndani unakuta venye the yellow color iko, lakini unaona in real sense ni wanasema ni liquid, but after iko imefriziwa it becomes in a pile up. So whatever it does to that container is whatever it does to your vessels, and that is why we have a correlation between diabetes and hypertension. Yani mtu akipata diabetes, if left uncontrolled na diet, hypertension inakuja kubisha hodi.
Oh, how? Why?
Because of the lifestyle. Because nimekwambia with diabetes, the only thing that can save your soul is what you are eating. So if you're still eating the wrong foods, the excessive fatty oil foods, excessive salt, you'll end up getting
excessive salt now. Sasa umeongeza nyingine.
So there's excessive salt, there's excessive sugar. No, you actually didn't even say excessive sugar. You said scrap sugar completely.
Yeah. Because sugar, what value does it add to your body when you add sugar?
I mean, you saw me add sugar to my tea.
Talk to her, but huyu hata si mbaya sana.
She saw me add sugar to my tea today. Nikamwambia, it's unfortunate that I'm
and she's adding it in front of my face, and I'm like, it's
unfortunate that I'm adding
sasa
sugar
huyu
to my tea.
Umemwona huyu si culprit. Kuna mmoja yeye atufuatilia kwenye kipindi huyo.
Could you talk to us about the effects of sugar? Because I don't think we really understand the full effect of it. Yeah.
I'm trying to picture. You have kept water in a glass, and then you add the sugar. What does it? How will the consistency of the water will change? Right, it will be a bit sticky and gummy. That's the same thing that happens to your body when you put up a lot of sugar inside your body. The blood will become.
Oh, the blood will become thick.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So meaning it will not even have a good flow.
Yeah.
And that is now it comes now and affect the erectile function. It comes and affect the heartbeat rate. It comes, yes.
And so, and when we're talking about sugar, we have cake, we have ice cream, we have, all those the food stuff that actually
sweet.
Yes, the sweet ones.
So you can imagine already the cake it's in form of white flour, white flour.
Yes.
It's already a simple sugar itself, and then we also add now the added sugar. Now you can try to imagine how much sugar we are pumping our body with, because what usually happens with the white products, once they enter the body, they just tend to explode. And once they digest, the sugar explodes once. You see, the reason as to why we opt for complex is because complex iko na fiber. So the way the sugar is being released is in a minimal and a moderate way. But now for the white, it just goes and explodes once inside the body. So the body is like, wait, what's happening? What? This is above insulin. The insulin is not enough. Now it's just chaotic. So if it does that for a longer time, then you're predisposing yourself.
Kuna watu ambao kabla Miriam aingilia hapa, kuna watu ambao kwanza hapa kisiwani, wapishi ambao wanasema wao ni wapishi study. Wanakuambia chai usinywe chai ambao kwamba sukari umeweka kwa juu, hii ya kukoroga kama Miriam ulivyomuona. Wale wanakuambia ichemshe sukari. Ndio nzuri. Wengine hata wanaenda faa zaidi, wanaikaanga sukari. Wapishi nyinyi wanakaanga sukari, halafu sasa ndo wanapika chai, wanaweka maziwa na hii. Hebu wazungumzie hawa na manake ama hii haina madhara hiyo. Sielewi.
It's a very good question, and it's a myth that is going on. You see, sugar is sugar regardless of umeichemsha umeifanyaje. Number 2, once you preheat that sugar, it tends to become brown, which means anything that has become brown through heat is carcinogenic, meaning you're predisposing yourself to also cancer. So sugar is sugar. Just take your tea with no sugar and you'll be okay, because it's all in the mind. But hakuna kitu, because mtoto mdogo akianzisha food akiwa iskari anakula tu vizuri, but akishajua kuna kitu inaitwa sugar, akili ishamwambia
kwamba ni sukari. Na sasa wale ambao wanasema I prefer honey. Yes.
For the diabetic people, achana na honey, because it's also sugar.
But if you're not diabetic, can honey be an option for you?
Yeah, it can. Kama you're not diabetic.
Okay.
If
you're not diabetic.
Yes.
Interesting.
But again, see it you ujaze. Just a little bit.
Jamani leo.
Lily, what would a healthy diet look like?
Comprise of?
Yes, what would it comprise of? And understanding that you're talking to, we have different types of lifestyle. We have different types of income as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very true. So the ideal, for the ideal that will suit a low income earner and a high income earner, just make sure your bowl, any mboga, it's half of it. Then the other quarter inakuwa iko na protein. So the protein might be a plant protein. You know what wako na ile notion ukisema ni protein ni kuku ni nyama. No, we also have plant proteins like soya beans, we have lentils, we have French beans, we have, how are they called? Njahe, I don't know how they are called. Those bazi and whatever. And then the other quarter, you can put the complex carbohydrate, which means can be sima, the brown sima, can be the ile sima ya kisiagi, it's also allowed, can be the roti, the brown chapati, can be ndoma.
So you're saying carbohydrates, ugali?
brown.
Oh, brown
Wakusaga.
ugali.
Brown ugali.
Brown chapati.
So that's particularly for the people who are diabetic.
Yes.
But now for someone who wants to lead a healthy lifestyle,
Yes.
na hataki kutumia hizo the complex one.
Yes.
Okay, you can still use the complex ones regardless uko na sukari or not. Like personally me I love using the complex. Yani kama ni sim I do the kisiagi one for now because kupata ile brown has been a little bit tricky in Mombasa. So you can do that, but if you feel you don't want to go the complex carbohydrate way, you can still do your white, but in a very minimal amount. For those who want to live a healthy lifestyle with no diabetes, yes.
Okay, this is
very serious.
It is, by the way. You know, we're listening. What we consume really matters, by the way.
And it really matters. I'm telling you, like when you are in the hospital setup and then people come with complications because they're very bad complications when you have diabetes. And then the thing is people should learn to accept. Like umeambiwa sukari zako ziko zina misbehave kidogo.
Yes.
Kubali. Seek for assistance. ASAP. Wacha kubishana, wacha kusikia umeambiwa sijui take herbal, sijui kula brown, unakula brown kwa nini? Why are they telling you to eat brown? Do you know the reason why they're telling you to eat the brown? Do you know when you're supposed to eat that brown? Do you know what type of brown are you eating?
Okay.
Yes.
So now let's break it down. I've gone to the hospital. One is tested, and they've gone through the HbA1c test, and then one is told that their sugar levels are high, or that they've been they're diabetic, right? What's the first thing? What should they do?
So number one, if you have gone for the 3 months test and your sugars are slightly high,
yes,
the first thing you should go and see a clinical nutritionist. That is the first step. Because running to admit the patient on medications already will not help the patient as well. Because the patient will be taking medications, correct, but now will still be taking the poison. So that's long-term consumption of just take medicine. But the long term, after 5 years, after 10 years, you'll come back. Oh, my liver. Oh, my kidney. Oh, I'm having gas because I don't know what. Those are the side effects of the uncontrolled sugars. Oh, my heart. We have to do a chest to see what is wrong. The ECG. We see how the heart is. Too much troubles inside there. So the first contact person after the clinician has realized the HbA1c is high, you meet the clinical akupangie vizuri and then aku-explainie vizuri what really is taking place with your body, why I'm telling you should do this, and if you don't do this, what are the complications? In case zimefanya hivi, what should you do? Sawa. If now they are excessively high now, because wengine wanakujanga wako na kitu tunaita hyposmolar hyperglycemia, mtu amekuja kwa confused, ana vomit, akona nausea, hiyo imefika to a bad extent. So unakuta hapo they'll have to do some medical intervention with the drugs. Okay, but even after issues with drugs, it's always best for the next contact person, clinical nutritionist. Why? Because we need now to control those sugars, because controlling with the medication will not help if you don't know what to eat. You get it? So you'll be overworking your body more. Me, I'm still fighting and advocating. I don't want people to come when they have complications. Zimekuwa ledna sukari.
And we've talked about food then, but also what role does let's talk about stress and then now lack of physical activity play in all this?
So when you have stress, your body kila kitu inakuanga iko out of control. When you have prolonged stress, it can be either negative stress or eustress, the happy stress. If it's in a prolonged time, automatically everything in the system in the body kila kitu inananga to hewa what's happening in yes. So if it's done for a long time, it can also lead to such. Physical exercise, it helps especially for those who have low metabolism, and it helps break down the okay, let me take it back a little bit. Once we consume food, inakuwa digested, inakuwa glucose, but the glucose ndio inakuwa ile kitu nilikuwa nakwambia iko thick. The body cannot utilize it, so it has to be broken down again to glycogen. So your glycogen ndio inakuwa the active form of energy of which the body can now use it. So once you do the exercise, inakuwa more easier for the glucose to be broken down to glycogen. Yani inafastenisha the process. And then once it's done, the excessive sugar that the body does not need will be burnt now. And then you'll sweat it out. Things like that.
What is the common type of diabetes in Kenya?
The common type, to be honest, is the type 2 diabetes. Now, once you get the type 2 diabetes, it's now the time I'll rule out which kind of diabetes now you have in the new list of the new type of diabetes.
Okay.
Yes.
Break down type 1, type 2, and gestational diabetes, please.
So with type 1 diabetes, you'll find there's little or no insulin production in the body. Usually affects children from 0 years to 20.
Yeah.
Type 2, you are it's the blood sugars are very high, always high. Yes, in type 2. Usually affects the adults from 20 years and above. The gestational diabetes usually come up with pregnant mothers. So all of a sudden, nakuta tu, when you go for the ANC profile, once you take the measurements, the blood sugars nakuta ziko high. Maybe you might also start having those symptoms, the ones that we talked earlier. But now usually for the gestational diabetes, inakujanga sometimes inapotea if well controlled. So you'll be on certain meds depending on how high the sugars are, and then after delivery it might subside. Although you have to be on follow-up for 6 weeks, although now most women don't do that. You'll have to be follow-up after delivering 6 weeks on follow-up. So after that, tikone ishakuwa sawa, then it's okay. And then you still have to monitor the baby, because most of the ones with gestational diabetes, they get big babies who might also have uncontrolled sugar issues. So after delivery, tuko tu hapo tunapima tuone sugar zikoje za mtu zinarespond aje.
You talked about inheriting this from a parent, or from a family member. Let's say if my family, either a parent was diabetic, at risk of actually inheriting that. How does that happen?
That one takes us back to the maturity onset diabetes for adults. Usually by default, one of the kid might inherit a genetic mutation that affects insulin in the body. So automatically najikuta umepata. But if you know that your parent has, so ni watoto wake.
Yes.
When you lead a healthy lifestyle, si rahisi for it kuwa uncontrolled paka kajulikana sasa huyu akona sukari. You might be living with that gene mutation in the body, but haijalipuka bado, because sugar zako unazi control I mean, as in you're controlling your diet. So if you sire a child, one of your child, and they don't lead a good lifestyle through diet, then it might inaweza.
What foods should a person with diabetes completely avoid?
Simple and refined carbohydrates. These are white, the white ugali, white chapati, white those ones.
White
sugar, added sugar.
Yes.
Fruit juices, these are fruit platters, avoid. Fatty oils and foods, avoid. Refined, highly processed foods, vitu kama canned meat, sijui easy canned pineapples, sijui canned beans. This highly processed foods. Achana nazo.
So pretty much anything that looks
processed
and it looks like, oh, this is yummy.
Yeah.
Should we?
Ni hiyo.
And then again, before you forget, unaona there's a concept huku nje ya sukari ukule tu kidogo, so they're like hii kidogo mimi nitashiba. How now? But now the beauty is that you can have a plate that is full as a diabetic patient, so long as you just know what combination is there. So maybe I shall tell my patients, you can eat a full plate. It just depends what's inside the plate. Si lazima atukule nyama moja, sijui ukule, no. Hiyo ni myth za kitambo sana, ilipita na wakati. You can have a full plate with a mindful combination of good foods.
What when it comes, because you say when you're having this, so there's vegetable, and then there's protein, and then carbohydrates, right? Should we then just have, it's like you're talking about us having, is it healthy to just have boiled food?
Yeah, it is healthy to have boiled foods.
Yeah.
And then you can do the salad toppings with the plant oils, because we have vitamin A, D, E, and K, the ADEC vitamins. Hizo lazima kuwa na fats ndio zikuwe absorb. That's why zinakuwa into fat soluble vitamins. So if you decide to do the boiled, and then you can just add a topping ya hiyo kama ni olive ya salad oil, ama coconut. You just add tu juu. See, I know jakaranga, unaongeza tu juu just for absorption of the vitamin A, D, E, and K. So long as unajua unakula nini, of which hizo zinapatikana kwa hizo mboga. Hizo A, D, E, and K, the brightly colored vegetables. The other thing, as much as I'm advocating for vegetables, you have to know what kind of vegetable is also good for you. That's why we still come in.
Yeah, that's important.
So the time lemon nikule greens, but what kind of greens are you taking? Why are your sugar still on the top? What is happening?
What kind of greens should we take?
Yes. So kuna some kuna Greens, kama I advocate for the spinach, I advocate for the broccoli, I advocate for the string beans. Some people call it mishiri, some people call it French beans. Yes. In fact, those ones are the best for now because they have something we call chromium, and the chromium ina regulating sugars to fresh.
Ni spinach.
For the French beans, it's all string beans. I don't know. It depends where you came, mishiri, where you came from. So, is all they regulate them very well. We have pumpkin leaves, not a good option.
Oh.
Yes.
Not a good.
Yes, not a good option. Because even the pumpkin itself, it's not a good option for a diabetic patient.
Really?
Yes.
Why? What does it do?
It still has okay, kula nasikiaje? It has
I
it is
love
sweet. Yeah, you love
beans.
it. Yes,
I
and
do.
it is sweet.
Yeah.
Although it has fiber, but research has shown that ina pandisha.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Majani tu.
We have vegetables like carrots, we have beetroots.
Yes.
They're also not allowed. Yes. Japo they are healthy, they are what? No.
Yeah.
But
this is now for diabetic patient,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying you have to really understand where you are, what kind of diabetes you have, and what really should I do, what really should I eat. Don't say because my granny used to take brown whatever, no, her type of diabetes is not your type of diabetes. Her levels of the sugars reading in the machine is not the same as your levels. Yes. So that's why I personally, with my clients, I have a phase 1 treatment, phase 2, and the last, which is the maintenance phase. So in phase 1 I try and control the fasting blood sugars, because fasting blood sugars ni ile asubuhi kiamka kama hujakula kitu. It has to be between 3 to 5. So mostly when you're a newly diagnosed, hizo zinafanga na misbehave mbaya, they can go up to 18, 20, sometimes the high read machine nasema high, which means ziko over 30. So first phase we maintain the FBS, and then now the second and then we go for 2 weeks. After 2 to 3 weeks, with the meal plan that I'm providing, depending with the results that I have seen and the type of diabetes, automatically the FBS, I will make sure they are fully controlled. And then I will go to the phase 2, now the maintenance phase. The maintenance phase is focusing on maintaining the RBS, or the postprandial sugars. After umekula 3 hours later zinakuja ngapi? Are they reading? Because the ranges should be 5 to 7, but at some point it might go up to 10 depending on your patient amepima sukari saa ngapi. So hizo if zimepita 7 ama zimepita 10, sometimes zinaenda 20, sometimes zinaenda high. So we have to maintain that. Then the third phase, now by the time you enter in the third phase, sugars zishatulia kabisa. Now I'm giving you something that now you'll be utakuwa unatumia sasa, which makes sure that FBS is maintained and RBS is maintained. So once you have done that, you are okay. Utakuta doses zinapunguzwa za medications, which means utakuwa hauna burden mingi kwa kidney. You get it? So hautakuwa na hiyo stress ya aftermath complication of what will happen to me.
Okay. Kuna vifaa hapa, wewe ndio mtaalamu, anaviita continuous glucose monitors, CGMs hizi. Hivi vinawezaje kubadilisha udhibiti wa kisukari kwa mtu ama brother hapa Pwani ama hapa Mombasa?
Hiyo continuous monitor, hiyo kazi yake ni ku make sure you're getting a follow up of your sugars. So ukipima leo uone iko ngapi, ukipima kesho uone iko ngapi. So if iko high, utajua mazee hapa kuna shida, let me rush to the nearest specialist mwenye atanishughulikia na hizo sukari, which is also a good idea, because kujijua mapema ndio muhimu zaidi. Yes. Because ndio inakuja kumaliza watu. Kwanza ni wanaume mtakiki kwenda hospitali. Yani you guys
ni kizungumkuti.
Umeamua sasa leo wewe pia umeingia kwa mbando wangu kutupeleka. Sisi hatupendi kabisa.
Hampendi. Yani by the time mtu anakuja kujulikana kuna sukari, labda amekuja hosia kuna dengue, yani ndio imemweza kabisa. Hiyo dengue fever ndio like wacha tufime sukari. Kama sukari ziko over the bar. You guy, are you diabetic? No, me I'm not. Nini. Kumbe you have been living with it na haujui. Ndio unakumbuka I usually urinate all the time. Of late my sexual performance has been a little bit kumbe it's this thing which has been eating you, this animal.
Okay. So, mapema hapa tukizungumza chini ya maji, ulikuwa umesema tunaelekea kwenye mwezi wa mfungo. I think ni mwezi ambao utaanza mwezi ujao. Wale watu ambao wanakusikiza hivi sasa kuhusiana na huo mwezi, pengine mtu anaishi na kisukari ama mtu hana, lakini tunafaa kujiandaa vipi?
Kujiandaa. Very good. Now as we are approaching the holy month, I know it's the hope of everyone, and kama nataka kufunga yani. But now you as a diabetic patient, for you to be safe, number one is you start now control sugar zako. Yani you go to the nearest facility, pata contact na a clinical nutrition akupangie, ndio muone by the time inafika hapo how has your sugar behaved. Sawa. So once your sugars are controlled, you are eligible to fast.
Yes.
For the Ramadan. Number one, if you are fasting, your time ya fast imefika, wanna make sure suhur, you take late suhur. Yani usikule mapema sana hiyo suhur yako. If time ya kufungua suhur ni kitu 5, ukianza inapanga mapema 5:15 na manini, wewe unakula hiyo kitu 5:40, 4:40 that time. Yani usikule mapema sana hiyo ya nini the suhur. And then you are most people usually fear taking tests because once kuna rules zile za fasting.
Yes.
But now at that point already you are a sick person. Okay, so you having kuona sugar zako, I don't think kama ita break the fast. So while you are fasting as a diabetic patient, umepima sugar zako ukapata ziko less than 3.9, fungua fast. Hiyo hata Mungu anakubali because your health is at danger that time. If umepima fast afternoon hapo ukapata iko above 16.9 ama 17, break the fasts. Meza dawa zako, it is allowed. Lakini so ukishindana, it becomes a problem. Unamaliza Ramadan and then now you are admitted to the hospital because now your sugars are just way above. The other thing, tukifungua ile iftar wewe mtu wa sukari, okay, ni sunna kukula is the 3 dates. Yes, but now for you, just unaanzia na maji and then just take between 1 and 2, not unless uko na zile zimekauka, because kuna zile za ngozi, zile ziko na fiber, you can take the 3. But most of the people, I'm assuming, because we have different classes of we have low class, whatever. So sana hizi zinapendangwa za donations already zishatolewa, hiyo maga ni zile unachota tu hivi. So kama ni hizo haina ngozi, just take between 1 to 2, and then you maximize more on complex carbohydrates kwa chakula, you maximize more on protein, and then now the vegetables. So meaning when you do the complex carbohydrate and protein inatuma mtu anakuwa full for longer, na fiber pia inatuma mtu anakuwa full for longer. So hizo complex ziko na fiber, utakuwa full for longer. Protein zinatuma unakuwa full for longer, and then now we have the vegetables as well as ziko na paka ziko hizo bado hizo fiber. So when you do that, utaweza kuregulate sugar, but that will only happen if your sugars are well controlled before Ramadan ifiki. But bila hiyo, no, I'll not allow you to fast kama you one of my patients.
All right, we do have questions here, and there's one says, hello Bran, tuning in live from the website. Is diabetes hereditary from parents to kids? I think
we have already tackled that.
We tackled that as well. And then there's Bilal who's also saying, what should I do when I have followed everything you're advising me to, but my sugar level doesn't go down?
Yeah, then if that is the situation, then ako supposed kuja kwangu, because I really need to understand what kind of diabetes ako nayo. Number 2, what type of ni sugar gani na behave, ni sugar asubuhi na misbehave ama ni sugar ile after eating. So once I understand that, now I can be able to plan a proper meal plan and a proper follow up, and then after 2 weeks you'll be celebrating.
Can diabetes be reversed or only managed?
It can be reversed if detected early.
Okay.
Yes, and it can be controlled if it has been for a long period. What I can say, according to findings and the work of my hands, the first patients that I've seen, I have met patients who have come with been in diabetes for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years. Nothing is working. So I'm like asking that patient, if you have been diabetic for 20 years, you have been on medication for 20 years, because your medication ni nini, inafaa itulize kitu, but haijatuliza. It means then diet is the only remedy remaining for you to be able to control those sugars. So for those who accept and understand and accept to follow the meal plan, unakuta the sugars zinakuwa ziko very normal in such a way that wakimeza dawa na hata zinashuka sasa zaidi. Now I have to send them back to the physician, go and get changed medication, at least dosage ipungue, which means it's a very good progress. So being healed completely after imekuwa for a long time depends with now venye mtu amedecide kufuata your meal plan. But for sure, dose itashuka. The frequency of the medicine you're taking itashuka, ita reduce to 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Lily. We've been speaking to LilySophie Marao Mubarak. She's a clinical nutritionist. What would you leave with our listener today?
Okay, what I'll leave with my listeners today is diabetes. Yes, it's a life-threatening condition, and it is a condition that you can have and live with it without you knowing. My plea and my calling. You see, the way in every hospital we have a charge which people say you have to get tested your status. You have to know, are you HIV positive or not? I want and I challenge all the hospitals, all the facilities, all the people in charge. Wakuwe wanasema you have to know how your sugars are behaving.
Yes.
Tukiwa na hizi chief barazas, tukiwa na hizi concerts, tukiwa na hizi campaigns, kukuwe na table ya mtu mwenye anapima nini iyo the diabetes. That is the only way we can be able to realize early, and we can be able to stop and reduce.
All right.
And we create more awareness. To me, that's it. And then it's not a life-threatening situation if you understand and agree to go the right way.
Yeah.
That's why I am here for you. And if you have any issue, you just reach out.
How do they get you?
You can get me in Ganjoni Hospital. I'm there full time. You can also get me through my social media at LilySophie. You can DM me kwa TikTok, kwa Instagram at Lily_Boke. You can get me and my number now.
All right.
Yes.
Sawa, thank you so much for making time today. We have learned a lot, and now you know, make sure you go for your tests after every 3 months. That is the HbA1c test. Yes, get to know your sugar levels. Well, we'll be right back in a bit. Good morning.